Hi, everybody, and welcome to Luxuriously Poor. I am so glad you guys have decided to come back and visit me again. Now, today I'm going to be cooking outside in my outdoor kitchen. Now, as I said before, when we first made this, I knew that my Nutter Butter would come along and he would tweak it, make it better. And that's exactly what he's done. He's put hinges on it. This is an old cake pan that I didn't use for anything, and instead of using the aluminum one that was a pie plate from the Dollar Tree, I decided I would prefer this one. It's sturdier, it's stronger, it's easier to dump and reuse again. And I also like the fact that he made a stand that this can sit on. Because what you got to understand is that when you cook on top of your stove, your fire is right there touching your skillets and your pots. Well, you want that same effect when you cook on a grill or this. And so he made me a stand, and it was a stand from an old CD player. I mean, no, not a player. A stand from where you put your CDs to hold them. And all he did was pound it out and cut it and bent it down to make legs from it. So now this works great. And so I'm going to get a fire going here because we're going to cook goat chops on this today. Now I've got my fire started, and I'm going to go in the house though, because this can keep going by itself, because we have the leg of lamb, not lamb, but goat, but we need to cut it. It's still frozen. And we're going to use a Sawzall to do that. Now, I cut the sound out of this because it was horrendous. I mean, horrendous. And I said, there's no way anybody would be able to really listen to that. It's just too much. Sawzalls are really great at cutting meat, whatever kind of meat. Now, he's going to cut me 4 of these, and I'm going to cook them outside because it takes about 3 hours, 4 hours to cook, I think, goat meat, so that it's just fall apart delicious. I mean, absolutely, the longer you cook it, the better the flavors become, and the better it tastes. Not just flavors, the more tender also. It will become extremely, extremely tender. And I just pan cook it. Now, I do put a few spices on it, though. I do. But they're basic. I put, salt, garlic powder, and onion powder. And that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? Just the salt, and then onion powder, and then garlic powder. You can put what you want, but you don't really need a whole lot of flavors. Goat actually is very delicious with just garlic. Now, I like chops. Like if you had a pork chop and you had a pork chop for dinner or a steak, I like to have goat or lamb chops. And here, I'm going to put the skillet on this, and I'm going to add some olive oil to this skillet because that's what I'm going to cook the goat with. Now I'm going to put these goat chops right in this skillet, and I will put a lid over the top of this. I have a cast iron lid that I will put over it, and I am going to let this literally cook in its own juices. Now, for me personally, I will add some Brussels sprouts at the end when these are ready, about the last 5 minutes or so the Brussels sprouts will come out nice and tender. And that's what I will serve with my goat chops. Now, my Nutter Butter, there, look at that. Nice. I cooked them in the same pan, the Brussels sprouts. And look at the liquid from that goat. It's absolutely awesome. It just is. And I'm going to put the top on this because my Nutter Butter, he wants rice. And this is what I will put on his. Okay? And so I'm going to heat the rice up in a skillet, not the same skillet, in a different skillet with a little bit of lard. This is actually his favorite way. I don't microwave rice to reheat it. I have always, well, mostly because many, many years ago I couldn't afford a microwave. And so there was no such thing as, heating things in a microwave, and this was how I would reheat rice. I would just heat it up in a little oil or lard, and that's it. And so that's what I did with him. Oh, okay, his rice is ready. Now I'm going to plate up his plate and then my plate because I'm not going to eat rice. I try to stay away from things like that with a lot of carbohydrates. Not saying that I never eat carbohydrates because I do, but I save my carbohydrates for things I think taste better than just rice. Now this is his plate. Delicious. There's his goat chops and his rice. And the other one is my plate. It's goat chop with Brussels sprouts. It's very keto friendly to any of you people out there that have fixed yourself on the keto diet. This definitely would be something you could do. Now, you could do any chop you wanted, pork chops, whatever you wanted, on that little grill that I made. Now, like I said, my Nutter Butter tweaked it, and I'm thankful for that. But hey, it was my idea, and it's working out beautifully. I'm saving a ton in gas.